Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I am finally reviewing the latest episode of Miraculous Season 6, starting from Mr. Agreste to Noah, not Granddad. That is a video all on its own. So let's get to it. I'm going to be starting off with all the major arcs that's been going on in these last few episodes. Let's start off with Nathalie. Oh my god, whose side is she on? She's definitely not on Marinette's side anymore. Or was she ever? And there's no way in hell she's actually going along with the Grand Council's plan. She has her own motives and her own agenda for sure. She totally manipulated Marinette in the finale into thinking that she'll give herself up, etc. But she manipulated her into thinking that Adrien needs her. Adrien needs Nathalie, which he does not. She refuses to let anyone find out she was the accomplice. Not only that, but this is the second time she's prevented Marinette from telling Adrien the truth. First with the letter and now this. Both times Marinette had a guilty conscience and wanted to tell the truth, which wasn't allowed by Nathalie, as shown when she tells Luca. So what is her real endgame? There is no way she's siding completely with the council or even her father. She's not siding with Marinette. She has her own agenda somewhere in between all this. More than likely, this entire council is going to backstab one another for their own agendas and their own goals. So it's no surprise Nathalie's doing the same. My guess is Nathalie plans to betray her father and the council and use the Miraculous for her own gain. The reason she hasn't taken Marinette's Miraculous yet is because she doesn't know who Cat Noir is, and this is a huge risk on itself. Marinette knows the whole truth and everything she's done. She could just plainly pin it all on Nathalie that she was an accomplice to Hawkmoth and betrayed Gabriel as Ladybug. So Nathalie is trying to play it safe until and unless she is sure of Cat Noir's identity and swipes the Miraculous from him. Then it's only a matter of time before she gets Marinette's Miraculous too. For now, she's playing it safe and pulling the strings behind the scenes. As for whether I trust her, I'd say not at all. But then again, I didn't like her before, and I certainly don't like her now even more. For now, she's staying in the shadows, even though she's going to play a major role and is being a supportive character for both Marinette and Adrien, but she's got her own plans. She most definitely is a major antagonist, one of the major antagonists of season 6. How she's going to play out in season 6, let's just find out and see. Moving on, let's talk about the Marinette arc of these few episodes. Okay, first off, finally Marinette uses her conscience and decides to tell Adrien the truth, or rather wants to, but is foiled by Nathalie, of course. But still, good effort, at least she tried. But here's the thing, Alia finds out, she gets mad, Luca finds out, he gets mad, and sure, rightfully so, but still. So even if she wants to share to maybe feel like it's okay to tell Adrien, anyone who finds out tends to get mad at her. Instantly starts yelling, Alia, Luca. Again, it is understandable. However, we should also understand Marinette's feeling that she cannot not feel safe enough to tell anyone. If no one just simply listens to her calmly and tries to understand her perspective, then obviously she won't be able to tell anyone, especially Adrien. She'll fear judgment and never reveal the truth, which will eventually lead to her downfall. Especially if everyone finds out from a different source than Marinette herself. Girl needs therapy more than anyone at this point. Speaking of Marinette, girl, she needs to watch her back because Cerise narrowed down the fact that she was the only one who was not at Bunnix's party. The person who so-called came up with the idea and doesn't show up, that seems sus, doesn't it? I'm surprised no one else noticed and bothered to be worried about her except for AG. While on the subject of the Dark Castle, so it's okay if Mary messes with the timeline. If it was anyone else, they'd get reprimanded hard, but since it's her, no worries. Wow, can this girl get any more favoritism? Not only that, but she gets to do whatever she wants with her Miraculous, but if anyone else goes outside the book, they get reprimanded or get in trouble. Is it fair? No. But was it ever meant to be? No. She's never held accountable and literally gets away with everything she does, which is probably what they're trying to show, is that every decision she's made so far in this season is going to lead to her downfall. And on that note, in the episode Noah, Milan tells her about the script and she insists on doing something about it. Like, girl, why do you always have to stick your nose into literally everything? Like, girl, chill. Nadia was right the whole time. People will assume it's a bad script and you don't need to always take action. Some things should be left alone and they'll solve it on its own. Taking action tends to make some things worse. Sure, there are times you should stick your nose into it, but this was not one of those times. Does Marinette listen? No. And lo and behold, she gets constantly everyone in trouble. She got Nadia fired from her job, even though Nadia herself was against the idea in the first place. Not to mention, everyone is finally understanding how messed up Marinette's plans are. Her ideas to get Kim to kiss Odin were turned down by Alia because she's finally understanding how complicated her plans are. Not to mention, every time she tried them, they tend to make them even worse. Especially considering when Odin finally did try Marinette's ideas, they backfired hard. Fair Kim was the bigger issue, but still. Now that everyone is getting their own personalities and arcs, it feels like they are not blindly following Marinette anymore and thinking on their own for once. And another thing, Marinette does not need to know every detail of Adrien's life. Let him be. Let him get therapy if he wants. He does not need to tell you everything, girl. In the episode Reckless Driving, Marinette insists that he can tell her everything. Really hypocritical of her, considering she has way more secrets than Adrien could ever have. Him getting therapy will be the first step to him leading to the truth. Marinette's obsession with Adrien has not changed, not at all. It's the same as always, maybe even worse than before. Her character has regressed in development rather than progressed. And by the end of season 6, I'm sure she'll face its consequences. I hope so at least. Moving on to Adrien's arc throughout these episodes. Adrien does miss his parents, that's obvious, but he has so many unanswered questions and he's willing to move on because he knows there was nothing he could have done, or was there? To Paris and the world, Gabriel Agreste was a completely different person, a successful businessman, a successful fashion designer, but to Adrien he was cold and distant and he didn't really know him at all. And that's exactly the difference you see when you know someone personally or when you know someone just from screens and social media. In the episode Mr. Agreste, Adrien asked all the right questions and even confronted Plague about the final battle, to which he dodged obviously. But Adrien still has a sneaking suspicion and will ask again and won't be so easily dismissed next time. Because Adrien knows his father wasn't a hero despite what Ladybug claimed. He goes to therapy to understand what he knows from his perspective and what happened according to Ladybug. And in the end, he's more than likely going to narrow down the fact that what she said wasn't true and figure out everything else in the end. Instead of understanding the whole situation, his father's decisions in the end, learn what really happened. That's when everything will go down. In the episode Noah, aka Noah Linksley, aka Chloe's older half-brother. He is for sure the favorite child here because she can't remember Chloe's name and she really doesn't care about Zoe. His story is to be talked about in a completely different video. But he wants to purchase the Agreste brand in order to attain all aspects of every kind of industry. He went through media. He went through a lot of things, all because Paris is becoming not profitable for the Grand Council. Since Gabe is no longer running it and Adrien's behind the scenes, but he doesn't really know what he's doing, that's for sure. And he definitely won't be running the things the way the council wants it to. The whole video about everything being environmental and free and the whole world should be like that, like Paris, how transportation's free, things are free, you can join in however you want, etc. The council is watching. This is dangerous for us because it will ruin their profit. By now we know these are the hugest tycoons and biggest owners from every single industry. Therefore, Paris's new economic system seems to really threaten their plan. Not to mention, so does Bustier, which is why they target her as well. Adrien does make the right decision not to sell, but this isn't the last they've tried to buy the Agreste brand. As for Adrien himself, he's slowly gaining clues and narrowing down and analyzing everything, what's really happened in the final battle, and he'll eventually find out. However, as for Cat Noir, he's pretty lame, doesn't really do anything as much, and they're constantly bringing out other heroes when he can help, but they constantly dumb him down for some reason. I really don't know why, and I hate that. And that's all I have to say for this video. Make sure to click that subscribe button and like this video. Bye!